Well, the clouds are gathering heavy, skies are turning gray. Gotta pack up the truck, there's no time to delay. Flashlights and batteries, water stashed in the back. Grab my boots and my gloves, we're ready for the track. Winds howling fiercely, weatherman says it's near. Towns gathered in the church, you can feel the fear. Folks lean on each other in times of greatest need. But we're rugged and ready, we're born to proceed. We're getting prepared with GreyMan, holding our heads high and we stand. In the darkest of nights, we make our own light. We're getting prepared with GreyMan.
All right, folks. I hope that you can hear me. Definitely going to need a 5x5 because I'm trying something new, and it's been several months since I've done a live stream. So can everyone hear me? Am I a 5x5? I hope so. Make sure I got everything set up here. Sue says 5x5 because last time we did this, it was pretty horrible. No, not horrible, like the live stream wasn't horrible. The audio felt like I was underwater. So I'm trying this little tiny mic, see how it works, and go from there. Everything on my end looks good, but we are under, well, JT should know. Well, JT's kind of close, but it's thundering outside and lightning and raining, so you just never know what's going to happen. But it is, I can see, hey, Gray, what's up, Trees Matter? Michelle, good to see you. Miko Wolf, Miss Perfect, No Quarter, Nana Anna, Jersey Gypsy, Rhonda Holt, Liz Chavez, DH, Water Tiger, Colt Prepper, Dupsy Daisy, Grit and Grace, Colleen Rich, Rocket Moss, Jan, good to see you. Rhonda Holt, Liz Chavez, Grit and Grace. If I repeat anybody, my apologies. Mars Bars, Rhonda Holt, I think I said you already. Sunset, good to see you. JT in the house. Allie, good to see you as well. Diana, too. Backing up a little bit just so I can catch some other folks that might have been here early on, hanging out. You know, Butterfly, good to see you. Michelle, Allie Watterson, Gardening with Crystal. Common Sense Preparedness. Mildred, Easy Homesteader. Everything. Always get a kick out of that name. Old Man Preparedness. And let's bring her back down. Miss Perfect, Butterfly. Tony. I think I got everybody. Jean, Conroy, good to see you. Waves to one and all. All right. So everybody can hear me. And I think I tried to get this, folks. Whenever you don't do a live stream for a long time, sometimes YouTube just says, we're not going to share this with anybody. So I put this down in the community post, which I know folks see because when I post sad things in the community post, I get lots and lots and lots of likes and comments, sometimes 300 or 400, maybe not 400, but around over 300. So I know people have had to see this notification. So we do have a topic for tonight, but we also are giving away some stuff. And that video, the Olight video that I did, I put a kind of like a little, what would you call that? A task for my viewers. If we reach 3,000, I'm giving this away. Hit 6,000, I'm giving this away. Well, and if we hit 9,000, we didn't hit 9,000, which I didn't think we would. It's a review video. Only people who are looking for that specific type of product, who are into gear reviews, those two kind of play into why people will watch that video. But I was trying to give everyone an opportunity to win more and more stuff, like a tiered kind of thing. Funny enough, Olight reached out to me and said, Gray, that is an awesome idea. Never thought of it. You're a genius. And I was like, wow, I'm a genius. No, I'm just kidding. But it was very kind to them. And they said, Gray, don't give away your stuff. You let us know who wins tonight, and we'll ship it to them directly. You keep your stuff. And I was like, well, that's very nice of you guys. So if you commented on that video, the Olight video, which is before the tomato sauce video, so 2 videos ago, I've been trying to push it out there. I've been telling everybody about it. Did everything I could to get everybody involved because we're going to use its YouTube comment picker to pick that. Now, some of you folks maybe don't want a flashlight because what I'm giving away in that one is an Arcfeld Ultra, which I show in that video, and an O-Clip Pro Ultra or O-Clip Ultra, both very solid lights. But Olight will be sending that to you directly. And I will put the stuff up on the screen. Please, 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 please follow the directions. I had a lady write down in the comment section. She's like, hey, Grey, I won something, never received it. I do not like to hear that. I try to make sure everyone gets their stuff. I have tracking numbers. I take pictures. I take screenshots. I record the entire live stream. This live stream is being recorded so that I can fall back and make sure people get their stuff. If it's my fault, I'll fix it. If it's the company's fault, I'll try to get that fixed as well. And is that all I want to ramble on? Oh, so for you guys here, I've had this knife laying around. It's brand new in the box. If anybody needs a little pocket knife, a little EDC knife, this is something I'm doing for the live stream, just in case we have a small crowd in here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. It's called a frame lock, but I like the style of this knife. It's never been used. I don't see if we can get that up on the screen there. It is an O knife. Very nice knife. I know it's hard to see because how dark it is in here. And make sure I don't cut myself putting this knife away. But I'm going to give that away using the StreamYard tool. And why won't I? I'm looking here to make sure I don't cut myself and making sure I get everything in a row. All right, so there we go. So we're going to go ahead and put that back down, move that over. So we'll give away 3 things after we kind of dive into this topic. And first of all, I want to say thank you all for all your support. My daughter had a really bad sinus infection. She was in pain. She wasn't feeling good. Things were bad. So I had to take her to the ER because that's where she's 16 years old now and she can voice her opinion. And she says, Dad, please take me to the ER. I know you have a live stream. Can you please just postpone it? So I postponed it to tonight. Thank you, JT, for making the arrangements to be here. So big shout out to our mods and just all the things that have happened in my life. I got some big announcements, but I'm saving that for a later date because I'm waiting on signing a few pieces of paper before I announce that. It's going to be a new chapter on the channel, kind of a new chapter, but it's definitely something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And the reason I wanted to talk about prepping for empty shelves in the summer is because I've seen YouTube, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, Rumble, every platform saying shelves are going to be empty by this summer. You better get it now or you will not get it. Food will disappear. You're going to die. You're going to die if you don't get stuff now. I'm not saying that, folks. I really want to break it down in a manner so that it's not fear. It's educational. And that's the whole reason I really wanted to talk about this topic. And we're going to break it down into, I think, logical sections. First, we're going to just touch on the rising cost of food and why. We're going to talk about why prepare for empty shelves when there are empty shelves. We experienced that during the health crisis back in 2020. Building a resilient pantry. We're going to touch on that. And smart shopping and storage. So I figure we'll touch on that. Then I'm going to use a few news articles that I do have. I think I have 4 or 5 to kind of show you realistic picture of what is actually going on. Maybe some of you folks already know. Maybe you've already watched 20 different videos on this topic. Maybe you just want to hear great talk and you're just glad Grey is doing a live stream. So you're saying, I don't care what Grey's talking about. I'm grabbing the popcorn. I'm turning on the TV, grabbing the family, and we're going to watch this live stream, whether we like it or not. And folks, I'm going to start asking you guys, whenever the live stream ends, if you could either share it to people you think that might find it valuable, that can sit down for an hour, or, of course, hitting that like button. What else can you do? And comment down below your thoughts on the live stream and also suggest other topics that we can discuss in future live streams. I'm not saying I'm going to pick them, but I want just to kind of get a feel for my audience of what type of topics they like to hear about. Let's say, hey, Grey, we want a gardening live stream. Hey, Grey, we want a prepper pantry live stream. Grey, we want a fear-mongering live stream. We want you to scare the living daylights out of us. Whatever you guys want. You know what I mean, folks? I just think it'd be fun. Man, that rain is getting nasty out there. Let me see here. I always forget about the comment section. The big news, Grey won the lottery and is buying everyone a new car. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be amazing? Folks, if I ever did hit the lottery, and you guys can quote me on this, Somehow I'm going to give back to my entire YouTube community. Hopefully I don't have 1 million subscribers at that point, because then I'll be broke again. I doubt I'll ever get to 1 million, but hey, you know, it's good to wish. I'm not that fancy. I don't have a production team and just that YouTube thing. I can only put out maybe a video or two a week. I can't be that consistent, so I doubt I'll ever grow that large. But mark my words, refer back to this live stream. If Grey hits the lotto, big lotto, not 50,000, because 50,000 is really nothing. But I'm talking about millions of dollars. I'm going to figure out something to do for all you amazing people out there that have taken the time out of your evening to hang out with me. All right, folks, so let's kind of get on topic. I know some people are like, Grey, you love to ramble. Get on point. And towards the end of the live stream, we'll do the giveaway. If I can have mods, if we're at like 15, 20 minutes before the live stream is supposed to end, which is at 8 o'clock, yell at me, put big old things on the screen. Grey, do the giveaway. Shut up. Just do the giveaway. Hey, Miss Worm, good to see you. All right, so before we get into the topics that I had discussed, the kind of 4 talking points I want to go to, I want to show you a few things on the screen first to kind of say, should you be prepping for empty shelves this summer? Should you be worried? Well, let's take a look at it. So we're going to look at food costs first, because a lot of people are saying the eggs are back up. The egg prices are going up, but then when I look, the egg prices are roughly the same. Eggs are starting to level off. Things are starting to come back. You know, the signs are coming down. The prices are coming down. So I don't know if it's just other parts of the country. If you are seeing empty shelves, leave a comment down below and also put that in the chat here, just so we can say, because I'm in Florida, so things may be different on the West Coast or the Northeast or Midwest or whatnot, you know? So, all right, so let's see if I can manage bouncing between screens again. All right, so let me see. I appreciate that, no quarter. I appreciate that. Anybody who loves to hear me ramble, I appreciate that. All right, so let's go ahead and bring up this first thing that I want to share with you folks. And see if I can figure it out. There's a window. Magic, look at that. All right. So hopefully you guys can see this. Oh, there's an ad on my other little monitor. All right, I'm trying to use this other monitor to make sure that you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Can you guys see a thing on your screen? Oh, no, I got to share it. Grey's getting rusty at this, folks. There we go. There we go. Grey has it on the screen. Can you guys hear that rain? I don't know if you guys can. All right, so how have food prices changed in the last 12 months? And this is from 2004 all the way to January, February, March 1st. I don't have April or May, but it gives you an idea. So as you can see, in 2022, prices were skyrocketing. You can see the graph. I hope you guys can hear me, because I did not expect the rain to be that loud. I'm just looking at chat to see how bad the weather is reacting to the microphone. It's only whenever I do live streams, everything goes crazy. So I'm trying to raise my voice as I'm talking to talk over the rain. But as you can see, it's starting to, you can see that graph right around here. It's starting to tick up a bit. But if you look at this graph, kind of give it like, I wish I should have put a line right across here. You can kind of see this overall line. So it kind of does this up and down thing. Outside of 2022, when things were just chaotic, which we know why. But I wanted to look at food prices real quick so you guys can get an idea of the cost of goods. It's not as crazy as it looks, because a lot of people have been talking about the tariffs. Excuse me. I appreciate that, Gene and Allie. Thank you. Awesome. I appreciate that. I'm glad you guys can hear me okay. So a lot of people are talking about the tariffs. And I don't know if you guys are into memes or not. I saw a funny meme. And it said, haha, you guys voted for lower egg prices, lower gas prices, and yada, yada, yada. And someone said, no, we didn't really vote for that. We voted for Orange Man Bad, as they say, to burn it down and drain the swamp. It was just a kind of funny meme for me. But anyways, so you can see, if you look at the trends on food cost, you guys are smart folks. When you go to the grocery store, you can kind of tell what you pay for it from week to week or every other week to week, right? And you get an idea of if costs are going down. So some people are saying inflation is going up, and if you watch inflation, it's kind of bouncing around. And I want to talk about tariffs and inflation and something like that. What I mean by that is, I'm going to use an analogy. All right, so how many of you folks out there, let me drop this off the screen and make myself big again so I can feel special. All right, so how many of you guys got roads in your town or city and they're absolutely horrible roads, and every day when you drive to work or drive around, you get angry because the roads are just terrible, right? Then the city decides to fix the roads. So then they put all these barricades up and they destroy the roads, and they're there for like a year, because for some reason it takes a year to fix a couple of miles of road. And you get angrier. You get more mad. If that's a word, more mad. I don't know. You get much more angrier, right? And then after that year, the road has been fixed. It's been widened. It's very smooth sailing. And you are ecstatic. You are ecstatic because it's finally fixed. That's how I look at our economy. That's how I look at the current administration, that they have to destroy and rebuild and just reimagine what the economy should look like. So in order to kind of better comprehend that, you have to feel the pain first before you can see the outcome. If some of you folks have been alive a long time, if you remember Reagan, Reagan had his pros and cons. The first 2 years of Reagan's presidency, stuff was pretty bad because he was destroying and he was tearing and he was restructuring. But the following 2 years was pretty good. The economy was booming. Things were good. People were happy. Inflation was low. Jobs were up. So you kind of get an idea when a new administration comes in and tries to fix something, there's always pain that you have to deal with prior to things kind of leveling out. Now, I could be wrong. I could be totally 100% wrong. These are just my assumptions and my views from what I'm looking at and how I'm perceiving things. Just to kind of give you guys an idea. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, now I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to bring this thing back up, and we're going to move to the next clip here. Food shortages, likely or unlikely, is what I titled this. Now, I've been doing much as research as I can to share with you, my viewers, to either give you peace of mind or a sense of urgency, depending on how you digest this information. So it says, while a complete food shortage is unlikely, some experts predict that certain food items may become scarce or more expensive in 2025 due to factors like rising food prices, climate disruptions, and supply chain issues. However, the general consensus is that grocery stores will likely have some empty shelves, similar to the beginning of the Charlie Victor, I don't know, are we allowed to say it? Health crisis, rather than a widespread food shortage. We don't need to read the whole thing, but just to give you an idea of what the experts say. All right, so now I'm looking at foods and mitigation, specific items potentially affected. So these are things that you might want to focus on if this type of food is important to you, because everybody has a different mindset of where they're going to focus in on their pantry, focus in on what's important to them, focus in on what their family eats. Chocolate. Shortages of chocolate ingredients and products could impact availability. That means people like me who stock cacao, hopefully I got that right, because someone corrected me 25 times in the pantry video that I did. Cacao. I think that's how you say it. Hopefully. Wheat products. Disruptions in wheat supply could lead to shortages of bread, pasta, and other wheat-based items. So, should you stock up on a bunch of bread and throw it in the freezer? That's up to you, right? Or should you have the ingredients stocked to make bread? I think that's more of a sounder idea. That's at least what I believe. Certain fish, maybe you like fish, maybe you hate fish. Supply chain issues could impact the availability of certain types of fish. So depending on what that fish is, if it's an imported fish, and we're going to talk about imports here in a second, if it's an imported fish, that might be something that you can't get here. Like I like Alaska wild caught salmon. Well, folks, that's in Alaska. So I don't really see too many issues there. Now, I also live in Florida. We're a peninsula. We're surrounded by the ocean. So if I'm looking for grouper and mahi and yellowtail and all that kind of stuff like that, Gulf shrimp, it's readily accessible to me in the state of Florida and probably to most of you out there. There's seasons, so prices fluctuate with the seasons and the availability, but just kind of throwing some things out there. Spices, this is a big one because you don't want to eat bland food. Who wants to eat bland food? Now, you can grow your own spices, which I like to do, but certain spices we can't grow because either a climate we're in or we just don't have no luck. I haven't talked this much in a while, so my voice is a little itchy. Good to see you, Jeff. Glad you could join us. Where am I at? Shortages in the supply of spices could be another issue because a lot of spices come from India and other places overseas. Now, the main thing that we're going to need to focus on is things that come from China because China is the one that's supposedly they're starting to play ball, but we'll see how that plays out. Another thing, it says dairy products could also face shortages due to supply chain disruptions and other factors. But, I mean, we're in America. We should be getting our dairy products from the US of A, right? You could agree or disagree, but here in Florida, we have a huge cow farms. Matter of fact, there's a cow farm over here. There's a cow farm over here. There's a couple over here. They're all around me. And I'm pretty sure there's other cow farms across the United States. So why don't we get our dairy right here in the good old US of A? Hence why some of these things are happening because we're trying to bring our food that we consume as Americans made here locally, grown in the United States. Some people say, well, it's going to cost more. Possibly. But if there's an abundance, usually if there's an abundance, depending on the supply and demand, we'll kind of figure out that price. But we'll see. Mitigation and preparedness. Like that word, folks? Preparedness. I like it. Stockpiling. Consider stocking up on non-perishable items and essentials. That is a key factor in regards to, I guess you guys probably can't see this as good as I can. Bring that a little bit bigger. There we go. Hence why most of us have a prepper pantry. Being if you're in an apartment or a house or wherever, you can find space. I get this question a lot, like, Grey, I wish I had a pantry like yours. I live in an apartment. I'm very limited on space. Under couches, small closets, under your bed, under, what's it called? The little tables, your coffee tables, nightstands. You can find a space to throw some extra food. You might not be able to pack it in like how much I got, but you could still mitigate the issue that you might come into if you run into a situation where you need food and it's not readily accessible at your local grocer. That's just my process of thinking. There's a will, there's a way, and just think it out, plan it out, and find a way to store that food. Buy sales, buy deals, so on and so forth. And we'll talk about that. Here's a great one. Supporting local and regional food systems. Focus on purchasing food from local farms and markets to reduce reliance on global supply chains, which I think most of us probably do. I get most of my dairy from a local farm. I get my eggs from a local farm. I grow my own vegetables and some of my fruits and my spices and herbs and stuff like that. So I'm trying to push myself to more of a self-sufficient lifestyle and building a community of people that I can go, hey, do you want to go in on a cow? The cows cost this much. If we buy the cow and there's 4 of us, it's only going to cost this much, and we can split the meat, and that meat should last us a year. Some people can't afford to do that, so then that's why I say Keystone. People like, oh, the canned meats are bad for you. Folks, food is food at one point or another. You got to feed your family through thick and thin. So I hate people who knock on, hey, you have canned good foods, you're probably going to die in the apocalypse because yada, 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 canned food is bad for you. Do they understand what they're saying? They mentioned the apocalypse. And if the apocalypse ever did happen, I think the last thing we're going to be worried about is carbs and sugar and canned goods and stuff like that. People are going to be starving to death. They're going to eat anything they can. If they see cat food and they have nothing else, have access to anything else, they're probably going to eat that too, just from my personal perspective. Another one is reducing food waste. Be mindful of food waste and only purchase what is needed. That I don't agree with. So here's what I think about. If you have leftovers, freeze it. If you have a freeze dryer, use your freeze dryer. If you could have it mitigate it by dehydrating it, try to make things last longer. If you're going to cook something and you cook a large portion, break it up and freeze it. You know what I mean? And hopefully you have a backup source for power so that if your freezer goes down, you're not in that situation. Hence why power stations are great. A generator is great, depending on where you live at. But I think everyone should have some form of backup power. This one also says seeking sustainable alternatives. Look for sustainable alternatives to your favorite foods. Basically saying, okay, maybe you like to buy Keystone, but you can't afford Keystone pricing. So maybe you buy, Aldi's brand or another brand, the store brand, which is usually half the cost. You got to do what you got to do in order to get by, right? And then this says, be patient. Recognize that disruptions can be temporary and the food industry is working to adapt. They do. As we saw, 2020 was horrible. We saw the craziness. We saw just an utter breakdown of everything. And then we bounce back. And then we eventually will deal with it again. It's just a back and forth. It's a rubber banding things, folks. That's why we prepare. That's why a lot of folks on the live stream are with a prepper mindset. We prepare. We look for ways of self-sufficiency by having gardens and all that jazz. All right, so let's skip over to the next one. I'm trying to move quicker. I'm watching the time. Excuse me. It says the U.S. imported roughly $216 billion worth of food in 2024. There we go. A lot bigger. $216 billion worth of food, man. We imported that much food. I don't know, man. I think to myself, why can't we grow that here? We have a lot of fertile lands in this country, and sometimes I just, I put my tinfoil hat on. I think it's by design, that we're dependent on other countries. So when things go haywire, we're in these situations. Those imports included fruit juices, fish and shellfish, bakery products, vegetables, meat and products, wine, beer, and other alcoholic beverages. For some of you folks that have like that, want to have a nice wind down at the end of the evening, not driving, at the end of the evening when you're home and you're tired. But Jack Daniels is local, just saying. Food oils, unroasted coffee, dairy products, eggs, tea, and other spices. Why do we import eggs? I don't know. Don't get that one either. Tea and other spices, nuts. California is probably one of the largest producers of nuts in the United States. We import them. Well, that was loud. Sugar and cocoa beans. Cocoa beans, I get it. Cocoa beans are more of a complex situation. We import them from usually South America, and it has to do with soil and temperate and all that stuff like that. So I get some of this stuff. So again, some of these things can be heavily impacted by the stuff. Now, here's what I've been seeing that everybody's talking about on YouTube and on every other social media platform is May 10th. May 10th is D-Day. If you don't got your crap together by May 10th, you might as well just kiss reality goodbye. And then other people say, well, May 10th is just the start. It's by summertime. May 10th it starts, and by summer, the shelves will be empty. So I grabbed this out of the headlines. It says the date when consumers could really see the impact of tariffs is coming quickly, according to Molson Hart, founder of CEO of Viahart, an educational toy company. So toys. Think about toys. A lot of stuff is imported from overseas, hence why they're probably saying May 10th. That means there are no economic effects of what was done on April 10th until about May 10th. So they're saying it's a 30-day. It takes 30 days for it to hit. And it says around that time, trucking work is going to dry up. Warehouses will start doing layoffs because no labor is needed to unload containers. Some products will be out of stock, reducing the need for shipping labor, yada, yada, yada. So I think, let me get rid of that here. Did I get rid of it? All right. Yeah, there we go. We got rid of it. What Why does that look weird on my screen? There we go. I don't know. There's a delay between screens, so it throws me off a little bit. Getting a little squirrely, folks. So I personally think that, yes, food, there might be some issues with food, depending on where the food is from. How many of you guys go to like your local grocery store and let's say blueberries? You love blueberries. I love blueberries. I'm growing my own blueberries, but I still love blueberries. And when I can't get enough blueberries, I buy some at the store. So that being said, I go to the store, local store, and I All right. Hopefully everybody can hear me. All right, let's try this. Are we good? Chat back up, 5x5. All right, he's back. Thank you, Dale. It's almost, you know, we lost about 20 people. I think we had 125. We're at 108. Sorry about that, folks. Over the next, here within the next 30 to 60 days, I'm buying Starlink. I'm going to have a backup internet connection because I can't stand when the internet goes out and I'm trying to do a live stream. And it's just, I want to do a video on Starlink Mini, something that I can take on out in the woods, something I can take traveling, overlanding and stuff like that. But that's for another video. But I want to get Starlink as a backup internet that's satellite based versus landline based when we have a storm outside or a hurricane and we lose internet connection. It's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. All right. How are we doing on time? 1936. So we're doing good. All right. That's awesome, Minuteman69. Good to know. Yeah, I've been doing research on it for the last month and a half and put a little bit of money to the side, and I'm going to get it because I need it. Not only just for YouTube, but for emergencies, because it's worked in North Carolina and brought a lot of people together in regards to communications. So I think Starlink is very important. Having any type of line of communication, unless someone blows up all the satellites, you should be good with Starlink, right? I'm not saying run out and buy them because food is more important, water is more important, medical needs and all that stuff like that. But I think it's about $500-600 for a Starlink Mini, plus the accessories and all that stuff like that. Anyways, I don't want to sound like a sales rep for Starlink. I'm trying to think where we left off at. I have no idea. Awesome. Good to know, Minuteman. Yeah, Danny, I just think it's a smart move. Okay, well, let's just jump into my notes, right? And go from there. Because I can't think where my mind, all of a sudden I was like, I'm spinning. Everything went haywire. And everything is on backup power. So the power didn't go out. Even the internet's on backup power. It's just the internet service provider, something happened. And because it's nasty outside. Imagine we would have done this live stream outside. That would have been interesting. Let's talk about my 4 key points that I want to go over in this video before we get to the giveaway stuff. All right. If you guys don't know, we're giving stuff away for the folks that are hanging out with us tonight. So anyways, the rising cost of food. Let's touch on that. I got a couple of bullet points that I want to go over with you folks. Specifically related to food. I kind of, you got to look at the potential impacts this could have on people, right? If there's a disruption on overseas stuff that's coming over, food, that's probably where I was at. So about food being imported in the United States. If we're so heavily reliant on foods from overseas, I think that, unfortunately, I know I'm prepared to get at least through probably a year's worth of issues. I don't think it'll be that long, but I think that we should be more, as a country, self-sufficient. And what I mean by that is that we should be, our product should be, we should be able to turn to, if you want to have a relationship with another country, sure, that's fine. But you shouldn't depend on that country, right? To feed the people in your country. So, and the reason I feel that way is I know that America has the capability to produce lots and lots and lots of food. Now, somebody might correct me in the comment section and be like, well, Grey, there's 330 million people in the United States, and we can't produce enough food. Possibly. But I still think there's a way to circumvent when we have issues with another country to kind of, okay, well, we have these, just like a prepper would, if America, instead of the United States of America, the United States of Preparedness, would have backup plans, A, B, C, and D. Okay, well, China doesn't want to give us this, or Mexico doesn't want to give us this, or Canada doesn't want to give us this. Well, we have over here in Wisconsin can fill that, and over here in Texas can take care of that. Florida has this covered. California has this covered. We'll reach out to the states and have them fill in these gaps until things get fixed. Maybe I'm a dreamer. Maybe I'm a dreamer, and it doesn't work that way. But I feel that it should. Now, a lot of people have been preaching about the summer with empty shelves. And I think if you've been preparing for at least the last year or so, probably most people have been preparing a lot longer, you probably have a decent pantry put away. So you shouldn't be living in fear. I think people should educate more than fear. Now, fear sells. If I was telling that you're all going to die, we'd have 5,000 people in this live stream and about 600 super chats saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. But when you educate, it doesn't work that way. So I just think that we should always have a foresight that anything could happen, you know, hurricanes, blizzards, power outages, tariffs, supply chain disruptions, health crises, and just all that jazz. Thank you, JT. I appreciate that. And I saw that. Thank you so much. I do truly appreciate that. I'm going to run through this a little fast then, because we only need about 15 minutes or so to do the giveaway. So the key factor here to take away is building a resilient pantry. Introduce the concept of a resilient pantry to everyone. If we can introduce this concept to our neighbors and to our friends and to our family, when bad things happen, they're prepared. You know, maybe they can't do a year's supply worth of food. Maybe they can't do even 6 months, but a couple of weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, anything is better than nothing. It's just that simple. Make a list of essential food items that you and your family eat. You know, we like bacon, we like eggs, we like steaks, we like fish, we like whatever that you like, right? Make sure you hone in on that and buy it, especially if you see a deal on sale. Biggest thing is if you utilize like Aldi's. I wish I could do a video about Aldi's. Aldi's on Tuesday morning, they have all these huge sales. And then Sunday mornings too, they have some decent stuff. But Tuesday or Wednesday, I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday morning, Aldi's, they're trying to get rid of the new stuff. They're trying to put in the new stuff and get rid of the old stuff. So they start marking it down heavily. I go in there and I just buy stuff, not just anything, but I buy stuff to kind of restock the things that we've used. I've really noticed I talk a lot with my hands. Very Italiano, hey. Must be the Cuban. I don't know. Where was I? But making that list and then trying to fulfill that list and substantiate that list before things get bad. You know, make sure you pay attention to if you have your mom, your dad, or friends or family have dietary restrictions, make sure you pay attention to those things so that they're not left out. You got kids, you got animals, you got dogs, all that stuff is going to be important to you, you know? And of course, you want to try to organize and maintain your pantry as best as you can. So you can pull out this list and be like, all right, family, we got 72 cans of canned beef from Keystone. We got 32 cans of chicken from Aldi's. We all like to eat this, and this is going to last us 6 weeks. So we might want to double up on this because it looks like a bumpy road ahead. So you're planning, you're mitigating the issue before it becomes an issue. I think it's smart. Just my perspective. I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. Tinfoil hat back on. I don't know. So I call it smart shopping and storage, right? Having smart shopping practices are super important. Learning your stores, learning how to find the sales, when the sales go on, when they get the trucks, you know, using coupons, double coupons, all that stuff like that. People think it's a joke. They're like, you're a guy and you do shopping and you do gardening. And I said, no, it's not a joke. Couponing is important. I know it sounds weird that an 80 or 90-year-old person should be couponing. No. Well, I'm 50 now, so I guess I'm getting old. But anyways, couponing is about saving money. It's not about age and being weird or whatnot. If you can use coupons or little discount cards or whatever to save you money, who cares? If I was 20 years old and someone would have said, hey, you know, this is going to save you money by coupons and this and this and that, I'd probably be rich by now. But no, we just go and buy things. And then remember, when you buy foods, make sure you understand the best buy dates and how they work. Just because it expired 2 months ago doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't expire. It's just a best buy date. So the texture might be different. The nutrient level might be different, but it doesn't mean the food is spoiled. Use your common sense, you know, smell it, look at it. You know what I mean? Let the dog smell it. If the dog won't eat it, then it's probably pretty bad, but you kind of get where I'm going with this, right? And then find ways of preserving food. Use lard, use salt, have a dehydrator, have a freeze dryer, have a freezer. Buy yourself a freezer to put out in the garage. Like I got a couple of deep freezers out here. And please don't ever the thing is when you have a big freezer, if you don't have a backup source of power and you have stored $1,000 worth of meat in that freezer and you don't have a generator to power that during an emergency, it's almost like either you're going to eat it all or have a big party, block party, but you really don't want to do that. You want it to be sustainable. So you need to have some sort of backup power supply to make sure that that freezer is going to stay ice cold. Make sure you have some coolers. Just, think of ways to prolong the inevitable when the power goes out, because power only lasts so long. Even with it, a power station, if you don't have a way to recharge that power station, if it's cloudy, if you don't have a smart system, and I don't want to go too down the rabbit hole because we're kind of at a time crunch at the moment. But you kind of get where I'm going. So I hope out of all these talking points, and I hope out of the little slides and stuff that we went over today in this live stream, that it's educational and not fear. I just want everyone out there to be prepared. I think it's not zombie apocalypse, where people think we're crazy. It's just intelligence. And what I mean by intelligence is just a smart move, folks. It's just a smart move to shop smart, stock smart, store smart. You know what I mean? And educate yourselves on all these different specific things. All it is going to do is provide you and your family a blanket of security. And it helps. It's been helping me teach my daughter. My daughter understands the value of prepping. She told me, Dad, this is a 16-year-old, mind you, Dad, I am definitely going to prep when I have my own home. I was very proud to hear that, because when she was younger, she didn't get it. Now she does, because she has seen the hiccups in life that happen, and having access to, just basic aspirin or something like that, or food items, or just things like that, toilet paper, whatever it may be, having a little bit put away to the side is truly beneficial. If you did get any value, hit that thumbs up button. I appreciate it. All right, so that's that. Let's get into this giveaway, right? Hopefully everyone left a comment on the Olight video that I did 2 videos ago. And if you haven't seen Cooking with Grey, the tomato sauce, making homemade tomato sauce from the garden with cherry tomatoes, please watch that video. I enjoyed that video. I love doing those type of videos, but for some reason, YouTube just does not push that type of video for my channel. All right. To be on a podcast with UK Urban Prepper, he'd love to have you on. Miss Worm, are you on the mod email? I think you are. Yes, you are. Email me that information, and if I can find the time, sure, I don't mind being a guest on someone else's channel or podcast or whatnot. It's been a while. I'm a little rusty, but I'm willing to give it a shot if I can kind of fit it into my busy life. A lot of things going on behind the scenes, Freedom-loving American Nana. I love doing prepper pantry hauls, but I don't want to inundate the channel with it. They do really, really well on the channel. They do really, really well. But let's give some stuff away. All right, so the video that we're looking at, let me see if I can back this video up. Just give me a second, folks, to set this up. I'm trying to find the thumbnail for it, I guess. I'm going to go to my channel and view your channel, just so in case any last minute people, it happens every time. There she is. All right, let's bring this up here. Share the screen, Gray. Share the screen. Prepping for empty shelves. Nope, this one here. All right, add that. All right, it's this one. Olight launches new Ultra editions. 6,800 views, not bad for a review video. Nothing like the pantry haul, eh? This fan is awesome too. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm just looking at the videos. But anyways, this is the video that you should have left a comment on. Any comment. It doesn't matter what comment. So I'm going to go ahead and click this video and copy that so that we can go ahead and bring up giveaway tools, YouTube random comment picker. All right. So let's get rid of that one. And then let's share the YouTube comment picker. Remove, I said, remove. Get rid of you. Stop screen sharing. There you go. All right. I've been having fun this live stream. It's been a while. I miss doing live streams. If I can get on a consistent basis, I'd like to do these all the time. All right. YouTube random comment picker. Share that. Bring that up. There we go, Gray. Get yourself together. So we're going to go ahead and paste that in. Filter duplicate users. Some users like to, like leave 25 comments from the same person, but so we can't do that. Only one comment per person. Number of winners, 1. Show random names. Let's go ahead and grab those comments. Let's see how many people participated. 89. See, only 89. See, and that's what I tell people. If you leave a comment on these giveaway videos, I even said in the video, it's a giveaway. But do people listen? I don't know. I try to give stuff away because I know people, money's tough. And if you can get something free for your EDC or kit, why not? All right. So we're going to draw. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. Let's draw a first winner. So the first winner, I don't have a picture of, well, I do. If you watch the video, you'll know what you're getting. The first one we're drawing for is the Olight clip, or the Olight O-Clip Ultra. I didn't have it here with me, and I try to find it over there. It's somewhere in this house. And people in my home sometimes take stuff and start using it because they find it and they think it's nifty here in the home, but can't fault them. The arc feld I do, but let's just do this one first. Shut up, Gray, and hit that button. Let's see who our first winner is. All right. Winner, 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 chicken dinner. All right, Gardening with Crystal. All right, congratulations, Gardening with Crystal. Let's go ahead and screenshot that. There we go. All right, so before we pick the next one, this is what I'm going to be showing you guys. It's my everyday carry. Folks, if you guys know me, I've been carrying the Arcfeld Ultra. Well, I've been carrying a variation of this flashlight for quite some time. I'm a flashlight nerd. I'm a knife nerd. I'm a gun nerd. I'm a little bit of everything nerd, I guess. What I like about the light is it has a UV, it has a laser, and it has a regular flashlight. It's flat, sits in the pocket very, very well. I know I'm trying to sell it to you again, but it's a solid light. And that's why I just like it, man. And there's some other ones out there. There's like, you have your night core and your through nights and your other ones. Everybody's, doing a flat flashlight thing now, but that's what we're giving away for the next one. So we're going to go ahead and pick another winner. Start. And then we're going to give away the knife, folks. And we'll do that. Whoever's on the live stream will give that away. Old Man Preparedness. Congratulations. Congratulations. I guess I need to do this, folks. I almost forgot. Almost forgot this here. You guys can't see what I'm doing, can you? You guys could not see what I was doing. Son of you know what. Wow. And I can't see chat, and that's why. Gray, you did it again. At least you get to see this one. You get to see this one. If you're watching and you're a winner, Gray's giveaway at gmail.com. So please, Gray's giveaway at gmail.com. So Gardening with Crystal and Old Man Preparedness. Old Man Preparedness, you won the Olight Arcfeld Ultra. And Crystal, Gardening with Crystal, you won the Arcfeld or the Olight O-Clip Ultra. So please, YouTube handle, place you want me to send it at, and any other information that you find relevant on what you won, and send it to me so I can forward that information over to Olight. All right. My apologies, folks. I got to start really honing in on this. It's just been such a long time since I've done these things. I'm pretty sure chat is eating me alive. All right, so let's move over here. I'm going to switch this. Stop sharing that one. Thank you all. Danny McDonald, Sam in the East, Sean, Tammy, U.S. Freedom 5, Rhonda Holt, Deanna. I appreciate all you guys congratulating the winners. You guys are awesome. This is why I love our community. You guys know that I'm going to mess something up during a live stream, and you guys are forgiving. You're wonderful. I'm apologetic. You're just very kind people, and I love that about this community. All right, so the knife. The knife is what's left, and we're going to go ahead and give that away to one of you guys watching live right now. As soon as I get the giveaway tool up and running, because we need a keyword, right? I'm going to do this really easy. No, that's going to be too long. Let's just make it simple. All right. Now I'm going to share it with you folks so you guys know what to type down in the comment section. This is when you get your fingers ready, all right? Share the screen. This time, Grey, make sure you share the screen. Add. And there it is, folks. Keyword, all capitals. All capitals, USA. USA. All caps. One squished together, no spaces, no lower cases, all caps, USA. Now we're going to let that, all right, that looks good there. I'm going to go ahead and, whoops, get rid of that there. We don't need that one. Let's start collecting those comments. We got 30. How many people do we have in chat? Let me swap this over. And we have 112 people left that stood through the test of time through Grey's rambling. And everybody looks like they're doing it right. Folks, I want to tell you while we're waiting on this here, thank you guys all for the continued support that you guys have provided me over the years. We're almost at 50,000 subscribers, which is awesome. To me, that's a milestone for the channel. I'm going to find something to do, something kind of fun to do for the 50,000 subscriber thing. Maybe we'll do this big giveaway or something. I'll figure something out. We're almost there. I forget how many subscribers that we don't need that many. A few thousand more and we'll be at 50K. Maybe I'll give away some more silver and some other odds and ends. I'll reach out to some of the companies that I work with and see if they want to get involved in Grey's 50K subscriber giveaway. We'll do something fun on that day. It might be a long live stream. Usually with bigger giveaways, it'll take a little bit longer, or maybe we'll just do a live stream that's just giveaways. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I want to thank you all for the support that you guys have offered me over the years. Even when I'm not posting and bad stuff happens, like the passing of my brother, the passing of my mother, sicknesses, and just different things that happen in life. You guys have always been supportive. You've been there and stuck with me for the long haul. All right, so let's see where we're at on this. We got 53 out of 118. Does anybody else want to enter? USA, all capitals. USA, all capitals. All caps, no spaces. Exactly. USA. Yeah, Jeff, it does. 50K giveaway. It does have a ring to it. I like that. But I from my heart to from my family and my heart to you guys, thank you so much for all the support and sticking with me and watching the review videos, even if you hate review videos. You know what I mean? Folks, I'll say it and I'll say it time after time, again and again. I do review videos to educate and share things with people. You never have to buy anything unless you absolutely need that product. If you need it, use the discount, use the links, buy it. And yes, of course, the channel gets a little thing. I always tell everybody, if you're going to buy from Amazon, use the Amazon storefront link that I have down in the description. I get 1%. I can make like 50 to 100 bucks a month extra. Everything goes back into the channel, either for equipment, production, or giveaways, all that jazz. And again, you don't ever have to buy anything, even though if I say it's the greatest thing since, I don't know, since sliced bread, doesn't mean that you have to buy it. It's just a review video to share with you, my viewers. All right. It's 8 o'clock, folks. So we're going to have to pull this. We are going to have to pull this. Any other takers? Anyone? Going once? Going twice? 3 times a lady. All right, let's draw. Let's see who's going to win this knife. I guess some people probably don't want a knife. I don't know. All right, let's see who in this chat is going to win this knife. Spinster Sister, congratulations. All right, you have won this knife. Now you can either, maybe it's for you, maybe it's for a family member. Father's Day is coming up as well. Just throwing that out there in case my wife watches this video and she knows that Father's Day is coming and that Grey likes knives. But Spinster Sister, if you see that, Grey's giveaways at gmail.com, I'll leave that up there for you so that you can see that, or you can always watch the video back or screenshot this or whatever works for you. Make sure that you put Spinster Sister as your YouTube handle, the information where to send this, if it's a P.O Box, it's if your mom's address, your address, wherever you want me to send it at, because this is going to be coming from me. I will get this out early next week, so because Mother's Day is on Sunday, so I definitely be booked for that day. So come Monday or Tuesday, I'll get it in the mail to you. And if you want me to, I can also send you the tracking information so that you can see when it's going to be delivered to your home. I use priority shipping through the United States Postal Service, and so it's insured and all that if anything bad happens. All right, so let's go ahead and move that away, bring Grey's big face up, close this and close that. That's been just running in the background for a while. But congrats. Congrats. It's awesome. I love giving stuff away, folks, because why not? I have too many things and I like giving stuff away. So every time I get extra stuff, I put it in a little bin for giveaways. Maybe we'll do Christmas in July this year and have another super big giveaway. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It always depends on what companies reach out. And I always like tuck in there like, hey, I'm doing this giveaway. I'd like to give away a power station or something to that extent. You want to participate? And I hope that they say yes, so that I can give some cool stuff away to people that could use it. Outside of that, folks, I want to say thank you all for taking the time to hang out with me for this hour and a few minutes, and through the electrical storm that shut us down for a few minutes. But thank you all for hanging out with me and the community. God bless all you amazing people out there. And this is GreyMan. I'll catch you guys in a rebound. God bless. And I'll see you on the next one, hopefully soon, right? Let's go ahead and